How's it, Aloha gang, and welcome back to High Now Daily. At Excel Health, they blend top-tier surgical expertise with a commitment to personalized care. Joining us here in the High Now studio to tell us more is orthopedic spine surgeon Dr. Jeffrey Roh and neurosurgeon Dr. Thomas No. Both of you, welcome into the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for being here. Now, I want to start with you. Tell us a little bit about Excel Health and how all this got started.
Yeah, I think the vision for Excel Health started with the idea of sort of aging gracefully, if you will. The idea that as we age, we have multiple maladies, whether they're musculoskeletal, neck pain, back pain, your skin. All of these things factor in your mental health. It factors in as you start to age, and we wanted to create a solution for that, and that's how the idea was born. So.
Absolutely, and it is cutting-edge expertise with personalized care. You guys are able to combine the two. Expand more on that and what people can expect.
Yeah, I think one of those things was minimally invasive surgery, for example, one of the things we specialize in. I thought maybe I'd let Dr. Roh go on that a little bit.
Sure,
Tell us about that, Doc.
Yeah, so minimally invasive surgery essentially means that we're able to perform the same type of surgery with tiny little incisions that you can actually put Band-Aids on. Oh. So before, we would literally have to like fillet the back open, much like you do fillet a fish. But now we're able to do it through tiny little incisions. We can actually make a little poke hole and then use cameras like this in order to actually get into the spine and perform cutting-edge surgeries through tiny little incisions where patients can go home the same day. Wow. It's really revolutionized how we treat our patients today.
Now, how long will a minimally invasive surgery typically take?
Typically for something like a decompression, which means that we just take the pressure off the nerves that are being pinched off, that usually takes somewhere between 30 to 60 minutes. But other procedures can last maybe about an hour or two, depending on the complexity of the procedure itself.
Doc, let's go into some of the things you folks are able to see when people come in and see you folks, and some of the recovery process and what that looks like moving forward.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons we do minimally invasive surgery is for that recovery. I think people are very scared when it comes to surgery. And one of the things that we emphasize is that these are same-day outpatient procedures. So you're coming in, you're walking as soon as you're done with surgery, and you're walking out the door. And that's really the advantage that we have with these minimally invasive procedures. So, back in the day, like Dr. Roh was saying, when they used to open the spine and take everything down, it's very debilitating. I just had a person yesterday come to me and say, oh gosh, I had this big incision on my back and I couldn't walk for days and my back was sore and I was sitting around and I couldn't go to the bathroom. And he showed me his incision, which is this big. Right. And really, we've changed the game now where we're using the advanced techniques and technology that we have to make incisions that are like this big, like Dr. Roh just showed. So the recovery process is much easier, much simpler, and people are walking out the door literally.
And you brought in something for us to take a look at.
Oh yeah, this is just another one of the advancements that have come about in spine surgery. So it used to be, for example, in the neck, that we would fuse these two bones together whenever we had to take care of a pinched nerve, and now we actually have the ability to replace that disc and mimic actually the way that the spine normally moves. And these are MRI compatible and safe, and so you can actually go get a scan afterwards to make sure that the job was done correctly.
And Dr. Roh, I kind of want to go into your background as well. How long you've been practicing, and now being here in Honolulu, being able to offer this service?
I've been in practice for about 20 years now, and it's just been such a pleasure to work with patients, and there's no better gratification than watching a patient just improve and see their pain go away after the surgery and be able to function much better. So it's one of the greatest things that no other profession can actually even equal. So it's been such a great pleasure to be able to provide these services at Excel Health.
And Hawaii is very lucky to have Dr. Roh. When I was born and raised in Honolulu, I left, did my training, went up to Boston for a fellowship, and actually did a fellowship at Harvard's Brigham and Women's. And I realized the advanced techniques, that stuff that we needed here at home. So when I was on my way home, called up Dr. Roh and was like, hey, how's it going? Because I knew him from my Seattle days. And was like,
you want to come and practice in paradise?
Pretty much. And
that was a no-brainer.
No, but we are incredibly lucky. This fits into the mission of what we're trying to do, which is to bring the latest, the greatest, the most minimally invasive techniques so that patients can go home. I mean, that's really the key for us. And I think that that's really the mission and the drive that we have at Excel is bringing those techniques, these technologies to Hawaii. like.
Absolutely. Oh, what does the future look like, Doc? What's to come? Because I do know it involves expanding to Kokua to serve more of the community.
Yeah, you know, like one of the things I do, for example, is I have a lab at the medical school, and what that does is actually interfaces with the university and actually brings a lot of these technologies from the engineering side all the way out into the community. And I think those are little things that we're doing. You know, we're also expanding some of our clinic capabilities out to neighbor islands, seeing patients out there. So the hope is as we continue to grow, and we're really growing at a rapid pace, is that we're able to, you know, serve the community as we do that.
Now, speaking of that, how do people get more information if they want to schedule a consultation with Excel Health?
excelhealth.co.
Gotcha. That's an easy
Very
one.
simple.
You guys, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Mahalo nui. And again, for more information about Excel Health as well, head to our website, hinowdaily.com. We're going to head to break. We got more coming up in just a bit.
Thanks. No, thank you.